Welcome back to my channel. This is Dom and another one of my updates on what I've been up to in the wonderful hobbying world of historical wargaming. So been a couple of weeks since my last update and been interesting actually. I've got a few games in but not so much painting, and that's mainly because work and family commitments. So it was my wedding anniversary, mine and my wife's wedding anniversary, not just mine, the other week, and that meant we were out a couple of nights, which was great. And then it was my youngest daughter's birthday, so we were out with her and she came round as well, and so all kinds of things like that. And also I had to actually go out for work for a day or so, so all of it because I'm combined. Now I don't know about you guys, I'm fortunate. I work from home mostly, which is great. I probably work longer hours as a result, but also it means in between time I can sort of have a little fiddle around, play a little game or two, do bits and bobs around with the hobby that I wouldn't obviously be able to do in the office. It'd be hard to get your paints out, for instance. It'd be quite amusing if you did. So when I do have to go out to work, A, it's a novelty, so I quite enjoy it, but B, it's kind of an inconvenience because suddenly you can't do all those things you used to do, and suddenly you realise your productivity goes vroom. So as a result, the update from painting is going to be a little bit shorter than normal. Probably some of you would be pleased to see that. Anyway, let's have a look at what I've been up to. So first up is this two small units of Spanish swordsmen. Now, originally I'd bought these, they're Wargame Foundry figures, and I bought them some time ago because I had watched a series of really interesting YouTube videos about Portuguese wars or colonial period, around about the same time as the conquistadors were conquering Spain, where they were operating in Ethiopia and around India and what have you. It was absolutely fascinating history, and at the time Foundry were doing one of their Christmas sales, and I really like their sort of Renaissance-y type figures, so I bought a load of them thinking I would do this, and then sanity prevailed and I decided I would repurpose them for my Italian Wars. Now, I'm not really planning to do many Spanish for that Italian Wars period, but I'm sure at some point they'll expand that way, and I thought, well, why not use them this way? So that's what I've done. They're lovely figures. I really enjoyed painting them. I've put a few extra shields on them because most of them didn't come with shields. Bizarrely, the shields are quite, if you look at the reference books, they seem to be quite bland, which is odd when the troops themselves loved wearing very bright uniforms. Apparently reds and yellows were very much the order of the day amongst the Spanish. Didn't like browns because it was kind of showed that they were poor in some way, so that's the colour schemes. Anyway, I showed these off briefly because I had a bit of a eureka moment with the flags, so I'll put a link here, but just how I do the flags on them. So you may have seen these figures already on that basis. Anyway, there you go. Really pleased with how they've come out. And then next up, a group of 4 archers. Now I picked these up on eBay. They are Claymore castings, which I think are some of the nicest metal figures you can buy for the early medieval period. Now I don't know why I picked them up. Oh, well, I did because they're lovely models, but I don't think I'm going to use them for anything particular. So I thought, right, they'll just about fit for Baron Wars, so I thought I'd quickly paint them up, and very pleased with how they came out. So Unit 4, I've sort of done the blue and yellow as a main theme, but realistically they could be veteran archers from pretty much any of the either side, loyalists or rebels for the Baron Wars, but they'll go in the box ready to see the field. And then next up, another bit of 3D printed terrain from Parabellum. This is a chicken coop and run from them. It's sort of vaguely medieval, but I guess you could use it pretty much any period you like. So it's 3D printed, and I just thought it was a bit of something just to put on the table to add to the look of the terrain. I showed it off on the PCP with the other ones I'm about to show you, but at that stage I hadn't put any mud in the. I sort of toyed with the idea whether there should be mud in the actual flooring of the sties and the chicken coops, but in the end I decided it should do so, because I think most people on the stream seem to think it should. So that's what I've done. So I've just used some of the Vallejo mud. It's gleaming a bit in the light because it's still a bit wet, but yeah, there you go. Chicken coop. Everyone needs one of those, doesn't it? And then this one is the pigsty. Again, 3D printed from Parabellum. Not much to say about it. Really straightforward model. Good fun to paint up, those sort of things. If you need if you're looking for a bit of a change in your painting habits, or something to break up the monotony of doing big battalions of troops or something like that, a bit of terrain, that really helps. For me it does anyway. I quite enjoy it just as something different to get round to. And also generally it's pretty, if it's something as small and detailed as this, it actually takes very little time to paint up, and therefore sort of makes you feel good about the fact you've finished something and move on to the next thing. So there you go, a bit more terrain clutter, or table clutter for the table. So this barely fits onto the turntable. Again, Parabellum. It is a 3D printed watchtower, they called it. I think it was Barbarian or Viking watchtower. I don't know why you describe it as such, but anyway, I thought it'd be kind of fun. I'm starting to do a few Baron Wars games, and maybe a watchtower might be useful in one of those. So I think originally, if I remember rightly, the top comes off. Now I've glued it on because I don't think anyone's going to be climbing in the middle of it. But yeah, I think it's a nice little model. So pretty cheap from Parabellum, with the ladder, and actually you could see it being used in anything from ancient games all the way through to so, well, I suppose it could even be used in American War of Independence or French Indian Wars possibly. But there you go, nice bit of terrain. And this one, another bit of Parabellum terrain, 3D printed building. They described this as a Viking great house. I think it's more Conan the Barbarian kind of thing. I think it's more of a fantasy mythical feature than a real Viking building. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not convinced of its historical accuracy, so to speak. The roof comes off, so you can access the inside, which is useful for skirmish games and whatnot. Still not 100% convinced whether I'll hold on to this or whether I'll put it on eBay, but it was fun to do all the same. So obviously it's got the stone base and stone steps. It's got some quite intricate inlay on some of the wooden beams and whatnot, which I've used to sort of copper paint and then washed it down. The rest of it's largely just washes, well, wood. I think I sprayed them brown to start with, and then just used washes and dry brushes to sort of change the colour and bring it up a bit, and emphasise the graining that you get on the wood effect. And yeah, I'm quite pleased with how it's come out. I'm just not sure how much use it'll be for my historical periods. So anyway, it is what it is. So next up, some pavises for my samurai forces. So these are 3D printed. It's interesting. They come in the company that I got them from do them with different clan symbols on. So this is the Oda clan symbol, not the Yorkist symbol, as Martin Seventh Son was delighted to think it was. So yeah, they come with different emblems or different clan logos on them, and so I obviously chose the Oda one since that's the one I'm doing. Now you may notice that they probably should have a backstand to them. However, I don't really know what I was thinking of, really. I just went ahead and gaily stuck them, super glued them to MDF bases, ready to go, ready to undercoat and paint. And I thought, yeah, probably should have used a back brace of some sort. Now, in my defence, there wasn't one on the file, but in my counter argument for being a pillock, I could have just got a matchstick or something like that to have used it. But anyway, I didn't. You know, it's a pavise. It's not really going to play a huge amount of, you know, not going to make that much of a difference on the table front. So yeah, there's 14 of them, I think, there, which some of the army lists in the Warlord Samurai book allows you to put pavases up in front of some of your asaguru. So that seems like a very good idea to do. So there you go. There's my pavases. And then next up, these are a couple of the barricades that you get in the Baron Wars box of tricks for the starter forces. There's a number of them, actually. So I've made up the first two just to see how they went together. And they're, you know, they're barricades, right? They're not going to be hugely significant, but could be used in multiple periods, of course, which is good. Now you get these sort of baskets and things to use. So I filled them with rocks because that seemed like the best thing to do. So yeah, a couple of barricades done. There'll be another, I don't know, 4 or 5, something like that, to come at some point. But again, nice and easy. But yes, I have actually done some figures as well. Seems to be all terrain at the moment. So these are some early Saxon warriors from my Romano-British period forces. They are Victrix plastics. Basically, when I was sort of looking around for something to assemble one evening when the plastic crack was on, I found a couple of sprues sitting there that had obviously made up the rest earlier on. So I thought I'd better finish these off. So that's what I did with these and quickly painted them up, ready to go. Transfers on the shields are from Little Big Man Studios. Yeah, they'll just go in the box with all the Romano-British forces, or in this case the early Saxon forces, ready to see the table. I've probably just about got enough for a game, so I need to just check that out and maybe actually do that, have a game at some point. But nice simple figures, paint up pretty well. More for the collection. So next up, some more Baron War figures. So as you know, if you've been following the channel, I picked up one of the starter box sets for the Baron Wars 2. Painted up the 2 retinues that they suggested from the Getting Started booklet. And there are a few sprues left, or a few figures left over, so I just thought I'd assemble them up into various things. So I've got a few extra archers, a few more sergeants, a couple more peasants. I guess a couple of the sergeants could actually transfer into the knight options. And I just really enjoyed painting them up. As you know, I'm not a massive fan of painting. I do a lot of it, but I'm not a massive painter. But or certainly not a massive modeler either. But I've really enjoyed these Wargames Atlantic figures right across the piece, actually, from their medievals through to, I did some boxer stuff a while back, and I've been working on their Renaissance conquistadors, and I just really, really like them. So there you go. There's another selection of Baron War figures that can go in the box for the next game that Jono and I actually have. And then finally, didn't think I'd get these done in time, but these are another 4 of those barricades that you get with the Baron Wars starter set. So a bit like the other ones, just kept it simple. Because I don't know how much I'm going to use them. I know there's at least one scenario in the book where you need barriers or barricades. So yeah, lots of washes, lots of speed paints. Little bit, actually no, I didn't do any dry brushing on these, so just kept it, as I say, dead simple, and I think they're quite effective. So they'll see the table at some point, and that's my painting. So yeah, quite a lot of terrain this last couple of weeks. Just seems to be the way it's come round. Mainly, as I say, when you've only got a day or two snatched and painting, it's harder, for me at least, to really focus on doing a big battalion of troops. I'd rather do a few skirmish troops, a couple of buildings, some sort of things, pavases, that sort of thing, just to sort of... So I'm keeping the paintbrush going, and I'm still working on some of the things I need to work on for projects, but it doesn't... I feel I've completed something, and I do like to feel I've completed a project. Purchasing wise, not been too bad. Took a delivery of Goblin Games with some paints, and also I picked up another pack of their the Wargames Atlantic Renaissance Conquistador Cavalry, which I'm going to use, as you saw previously if you watched the update, I'm going to use for the Italian Wars. And I also got, for the first time, a box of the Renaissance cavalry. So these are the heavy cavalry, so they've got a lot of armour on them. And again, I'm going to use them for the Italian Wars, because they're really nice figures. I really like them. So I picked up 2 boxes like that. I've got another delivery expected at some point, but it seems to have been held up. Shipment problems from Wargames Atlantic. I think all the sort of tariff things had an impact on their deliveries initially, so that's been held up, but that's fine. I'm in no hurry. I've got loads of things to paint, so it's not a problem. So other than that, no, pretty much that's all I've got. Gaming wise, as I say, been quite varied actually. So a couple of weeks ago, I can't remember that I mentioned this on the update. Maybe I was about to go and do it. Actually Jonathan, Paul and Tony were all not at the club one week, so Ian and I had a game of 15mm General Dame. It was a scenario which I think Jono and I have played before. It's from the Peninsular War, and the British are attacking French troops, and they have to basically cross a dry riverbed, a ditch, and then assault the French. And there's it's quite a nice mechanic in it that they basically have to do a morale check to climb out of the trench, because it's cover. It's a nice place to hide if you're being shot at, and makes it quite interesting for the British to try and coordinate. They have a slightly smaller army, but they have a lot better quality. They've got Portuguese allies as well, and it was a really good game actually. I think Ian knows General Dame 2 better than I do, so it was kind of useful to have somebody who just playing one-on-one with somebody who knows the rules pretty well. Although we still had to do the usual scurrying into the book and what have you. So at some point that will go up on the channel when I finish editing it. Probably if I do, I'll put the link up here. Last week at the club was our annual general meeting, which it's always a laugh, but it takes up part of the gaming evening for us, so it means you can generally only play something short, which is ideal actually, because Jonathan and I have been talking about doing some Baron Wars, and so it gave us an opportunity to have a game. Our first game, we used the 2 starter forces that I painted up and I showed off on the channel, and we just worked through, basically just randomly did a scenario and the deployment as the book suggests. We didn't play the initial scenario, which is in the Get Started book, because it just looks so one-sided it's almost unfair. Although as the game turned out, and I did video it, but I'm not going to share it because it was very disjointed. We spent a lot of time working through rules, but also it was brutal. I always laugh that Jonathan's Canadian 6-sided dice are absolutely fearsome for rolling 6s, and it's sort of... they're mythical almost down the club. Oh, here comes Jono with his Canadian dice, and but actually turns out he's even better with a dice, a 9 and 10 sided dice. Sorry, a 10-sided dice. The number of 9s and 10s he rolled, which in Baron Wars is pretty nasty. So we got a lot of things wrong, but it was good fun. I was talking to Martin, Seventh Son, about it as well, and I think I mentioned it on the PCP the other week. The rules are good. I like them. They're very granular, and they're not laid out intuitively to me. And they've got the one unforgivable thing in my book. They got no bloody index. I mean, but that said, I enjoyed them, and I really enjoyed. And I'm not a skirmish gamer really, but I liked. I actually liked the detail in it. I liked the sort of micro bit of it. I know it won't suit everybody, but if you like, you know, if you don't want to play a really simple skirmish game that gives you some flavour of the period, that's fairly quick. I think what both Jonathan and I agreed, even though we'd spent a lot of time scurrying through the book, was actually a lot of the rules were intuitive. Or once you knew the rule, you could remember it. For instance, a saving roll for a standard figure is 7. If you're wearing mail armour, it's down 2, so it becomes 5. If you're wearing padded armour, it's down 1, so it's 6. And so, you see, I can remember that already now, week and a half later. So those sort of things were, and there were a number of those sort of things that once you knew the factors, it was fairly intuitive. Saving rolls with shields, that sort of thing. So that was good. So I think we'll play another one at some point, maybe a little while later, because I say our usual crew don't really like skirmish games particularly. So, but I think we'll try and put another one in. Maybe when Jono's finished painting a few more figures. He'd done a few archers, but needs to work on a few more. So, so that was good fun. Not sure this week whether I'm going to even get to the club. I'm going away at the weekend. I've got an early flight, so I'm debating whether I even go to the club this Friday. I haven't. Jono was going to send a scenario. I think he's planning a GDA game using Austrians and Prussians maybe. He was going to send a suggestion around the group, but I haven't seen anything yet, so I don't even know what the plan is, if indeed I turn up. I might just turn up and just say hi to a few folks and leave early. I don't know. We'll see. If I do video, it'll be some weeks before it appears. So there you go. However, this week, because I actually had a fairly quiet week this week, work-wise, and you may have seen the short I did of my Feudal Japanese forces that I've been collecting. I have to stress, most of them I didn't paint. They were painted for, well, a large chunk of them were done by Jack at Outpost Miniature Studios. Painted them for me, and other load I picked up on eBay. Beautiful, beautiful figures. I did do a few, but not many. But I laid them out just to see what I had, and then having laid them out, I thought, well, I must have a game, so I did. So I played a game using the new supplement. Basically, it's pike and shot. I didn't play all the intricacies of the new book. There's various things around command. There's various things around sort of intel gathering and ninjas and assassinations and things. Those things are particularly difficult to do if you're playing solo. So I just really wanted to roll some dice and fight some games out, and that's what I did. It was quite a small scenario, a couple of brigades aside, but great fun. Really, really enjoyed it. Link here, I think it's here, for the game, because I've recorded it, edited it, and it's going up on the channel. I think that's it. Other than the fact, obviously, as I mentioned, I'm going away for a couple of weeks, so I've got a couple of videos I'm uploading, but otherwise it's going to go a little bit quiet from the channel. But don't worry, I will be back, hopefully anyway, in due course, ready to do some more gaming. Enjoy your gaming as always. Thank you so much for all the support and the interest in the channel. Absolutely mind-bending that so many people choose to spend time with what I do and some of the games and what have you I talk about on here. So really appreciate it. And if you think I've earned a subscription, then hit that subscription button, please. Doesn't cost anything, just means you see when I post stuff. And you're probably aware I post a lot of different things around the hobby, so if you're not particularly into one, there's probably something else that will come along fairly soon that you might be interested in, or at least you can have a laugh at me doing. Anyway, enough waffle from me. Enjoy your week, enjoy your gaming, have fun, stay safe, stay well, and I'll see you all again soon. This is Dom, signing out.